halfway through the year 2025, so I'm going to stop and give you guys my top 10 favorite films of 2025 thus far. So yes, I'm going to be giving you guys my top 10 favorite movies of the year thus far. And remember, my list is not the rest. It's just my list, and I'd love to hear your list in the comments. Share a ranking of your 10 favorite movies of the year thus far. Without further ado, let's get to the ranking. In 10th place, Mickey 17. Now, quickly before I get talking about the movie, I just want to mention that I'm just going to tell you guys how much movies I've seen this year and give you, my quick thoughts on the year so far. And 2025 has been, an okay, year for movies. Probably one of the worst of the decade so far. 2022, 2023, and 2024 were great for movies. But 2020, 2021, and then this year, I think those three are by far the weakest. But 22, 23, 24, those are the highs of the decade so far. And I think 2026 is going to cook up as well. And 2027, 2028, and so on. Anyway, it's been an okay year so far. It's going to be a weaker list. Some of these movies in this top 10 are 7.5 out of 10s for me, really good films. Not if it was my 10 best of the year for 2024, all of them would be above great, all that stuff. There's a couple movies here that are just 7.5 out of 10s, and Mickey 17 is one of those. Mickey 17 was a film I was really looking forward to, one of my most anticipated films of the year, because it's directed by Bong Joon-ho, which, other than this movie, I've never seen a film from him, but I heard he's great. And yeah, so that gave me excitement. It's a sci-fi comedy. That sounds great. The trailers looked awesome. It starred Robert Pattinson, one of my favorite actors of all time. We got Mark Ruffalo in there. Everything about this film just screams it's going to be great. And I had a blast with this movie. I thought I had a really good time with the movie. It was hilarious. Me and my friend could not stop laughing. There's a couple scenes in this film. There's 3 or 4 that we were just dying of laughter for 3 minutes straight, especially this one dinner sequence. We could not stop laughing. We were trying to hold our breath so that people would not look back and be pissed off and stuff and we'd get in trouble, but couldn't help myself, man. This film was hilarious. And when it's funny, it's really funny, but that's really it. I was still disappointed with the comedy, though. It is more darker comedy, so if you don't really understand darker comedy, then you're probably not going to get it. I understand it, but I don't really understand the funny part of it most of the time, but again, there's 3 or 4 scenes that me and my friend were dying of laughter, but other than those 3 or 4 scenes, the laughter was a little disappointing. Robert Pattinson, he was great as playing these 2 different sided Mickeys, one that's anxiety, shy one, and then one that's violent, angry. I thought that he was great. They're both so fun on screen together. Obviously, he's just on screen by himself, but both of them, a lot of fun. I had a great time with them. Mark Ruffalo, he played a Donald Trump. You get so pissed off you want to come and punch him in the face. Yeah, he played a really annoying guy that you just wanted him to die. That's literally what he played. And yeah, the sci-fi part, great. The comedy, like I said, it was a little disappointing. I kind of wanted more. The ending with all the aliens, monster thingy-majigs, I thought that was pretty nice. So yeah, the film was really good. It wasn't great. I went into this film with high expectations. That's my fault, because, again, it was one of the most anticipated films of the year. And I went in with really high expectations, just really hoping, fingers crossed, it was going to be great. It wasn't. It was still a really good 7.5 out of 10 for me. I stand by my rating, but it was not great. So yes, it was a really good film. It was a little disappointing, though. In 9th place, Novocaine. Now, this was a movie I actually didn't see in theaters. came out like just a week after Mickey 17. I chose to see Mickey 17 over this. I wasn't like really excited for this movie. Great cast. We got Jack Quaid here. And it looked like a fun action film and all, but I was just like, in the film. And then I just completely forgot about the movie. I didn't even throw it on my to-watch list. I just forgot about it after a couple weeks in March. And then I was just scrolling through Prime Video, or Paramount Plus, sorry. And I saw it was on there. So then I was just like, what the hell? I'm bored. I'm going to check it out. And yes, this was a really good film. I had a really good time with this. If you guys don't know what this is a action kind of heist movie. Basically about this guy, Nathan Kane, who has this condition where he can't feel pain. And eventually he meets this girl, and yeah, become a romantic relationship. And then she gets kidnapped because they work at a bank. A bunch of criminals or whatever come and rob the bank. They need a hostage, so they steal his girlfriend. So then he decides to put his power, I'd like to call it, to good use and go get her back. So that's basically the plot of the film. And yeah, again, like I wasn't too excited for the film. I just checked it out because I was really bored. So if I wasn't, I wouldn't have checked this movie out. And I'm glad I did. I thought it was a really good film. And what I like about this movie is it doesn't like show you that, oh wait, he can't feel pain. This is a great power. This guy is so lucky. No. At the start of the movie, you're like, yeah, so lucky. I wish I couldn't feel pain, all that stuff. By the end of the film, you're just like, man, I feel sorry for this guy. Oh, I feel so bad for him. That's literally how I was. I wasn't like so hyped that he can't feel pain or anything. I didn't say like I wish I could. No, I knew the condition. I knew somebody who like couldn't feel pain in their legs and stuff, which yeah. And the movie shows you that it's not a good thing. Like he has to like I don't know, like put all the food in a blender and stuff, and he has to drink it because he's worried that he might bite his tongue off and he wouldn't even know it. So he doesn't eat all this stuff. There's so many things he can't do because he can't feel pain. And yeah, that's just yeah. I really appreciate how it shows that it's not a good thing. The action was good. It's a more grounded action film. It's not like something humongous. It's very grounded. The heist part, decent. Comedy, great. Jack Quaid was hilarious. He's been in like 3 films this year so far. Companion, which I haven't seen. I don't know if I will. I'm not too interested in it. Novocaine, and then he was in a little bit in a review I just did, Heads of State. He was in there for like 10 minutes, but he was great in that. Anyway, so he's had a pretty good year so far. I heard great reviews for Companion, so I heard he was great in that as well. Anyway, he was great in here. I forget. I think it's like Amber Midthunder or something. I think that's her name. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that the romance between them, great. But the comedy, I laughed so hard. But again, the romance in this film, fantastic. Where he can't feel pain, and she was adopted. She got abused a bunch. So they're like sharing, like stories of how like they grew up and stuff, and how life sucked, and all that. So I thought this was a really good film. Was it great? No, it wasn't. I wasn't disappointed though. Because again, I went to this film with almost 0 expectations, and then I watched and I was like, okay, that was actually really good. And that final battle and like the ambulance and stuff, that was great. There was a twist in here that I wasn't a fan of though, where she gets kidnapped and it turns out the guy who kidnapped her, that was her brother and all. It just didn't really sit with me well. That was like the only disappointing thing of the film. It wasn't perfect, hell no. But it was like, still I wasn't disappointed. It was a really good film and I had a good time with it. In 8th place, The Gorge. Now, I forgot to tell you guys before, but I have officially, as of today, because I watched Heads of State today, my review for it's up and running on my channel right now. Go check it out. As of today, I've hit 30 movies. I've seen 30 movies this year, this far, in 2025. Yeah. 3-0. 3-0. I can't even talk right now. I don't know what I'm doing, but 30. My record is 49, which, yeah, I saw 49 films in 2024, which, yeah, almost hit 50, but I hit 49 there. I doubt it I'm going to beat that. I don't even know if I'm going to make it to 40 the rest of the year doesn't look too good. So hey, we'll see what happens. But if I make it to 40, I got lucky. But yeah, I've seen 30 films this year thus far in 2025. Anyway, now it's The Gorge. This was my favorite movie of the year for like over 2 months, for February, March, and then like leading into April. The Gorge was my favorite movie of the year. Now, I don't think it's great. I think it's a 7.5 out of 10, really good film. As of Mickey 17, Novocaine, and then this, all three of these films were 7.5 out of 10s for me. They're really good films. They're not great. They're not movies that I would go out and be like, I'm going to go pick this up on Blu-ray. No, they're. My rule is it has to be 8 out of 10 great and above. But still, this was, again, one of my favorite movies of the year, or my favorite movie of the year for a while. Until April. April was a banger of a month. And yeah, the cast here, we got Miles Teller, Anya Taylor-Joy, Sigourney Weaver. They're all great in the film. I love like the whole mystery of like who's behind this all. I thought that was great. The romance was unbelievable. Like, I did not expect this romance to be that great. I was like, oh, romance? The first like half of the film, I wanted the entire film to just be the romance. Once I got to the second half, I was just like, oh man, we're leaving the romance? Because the romance was awesome. Like, I loved the romance in this movie between Anya Taylor-Joy and Miles Teller. And the horror thriller side, when they're actually in the gorge, wasn't as good as the romance, but it was a lot of fun seeing them just shoot all the monsters, get out of there with hooking a jeep to like the up, so they could like climb out of the gorge. Like, I don't know, it's kind of ridiculous, but still, had a good time with this movie. It is kind of predictable, but still, I really had a good time with this movie. And yeah, I actually really recommend this movie if you're a big fan of like romances or horror thrillers or adventure or action. It is all of those. It's a huge genre blender. You can just go check it out right now on Apple TV Plus. It is a really good film. In seventh place, How to Train Your Dragon, the live action remake. Now we're getting into like the 8 out of 10 great movies. We left like the 7.5 out of 10 really good films. Now from this movie on, we are heading into the 8 out of 10 great movies and above. Now this was a movie that I was like very interested in. The original How to Train Your Dragon, I've said this 1,000 times on the channel, it is not only one of my favorite animated movies of all time, it is one of my favorite movies of all time. I think it is a 10 out of 10 masterpiece. And yeah, if I did like a ranking of my favorite movies of all time, which I will do someday, maybe this summer, we'll see. This movie would be in that top 20 for sure. I absolutely love this film. I watched it a couple days ago. Whew, like I was just getting chills listening to Test Drive. But anyway, I was just very interested. Is this gonna like make some huge changes, or is it gonna be a rehash? What is it gonna be? And yeah, it was a rehash, which is a good thing and a bad thing. Good thing, they didn't make any big changes like Lilo and Stitch did. I give that film like a 7 out of 10. That happened a lot this year where like I gave the film a rating on my review and I'm just like, actually, no, it's not that. It's lower. And that's what Lilo and Stitch is. It is a lot lower. It's like a 5 out of 10 for me now. Maybe even a 4 out of 10 might be a bad movie. I need to rewatch it. But anyway, original, great. But Lilo and Stitch, the live action, just made a big change. I just didn't like it a bunch. This one didn't do that at all. It was a exact rehash, obviously in live action form. Make some tweaks. I cannot talk. Tweaks with like moments, scenes, the script. Obviously they did that, but no big changes that make you go whoa. So that's like the good side of it. The bad side of it is it's nothing new. It's the same movie, just in live action form, and just like you're seeing one of your favorite movies of all time. I'm just speaking for myself here. That obviously came out before you were born, and you're just seeing it in theaters, which I thought was cool. So it was fun seeing my favorite movie, like one of my favorite movies of all time, turned into live action form. But again, it's like their excuse for like you can't get mad at them for making this movie, or like you can't get mad at the movie because it's the same thing as the original. So like, I don't know if they're trying to do that. It's just my like opinion here, like what it kind of seemed like they were doing. But again, it's DreamWorks, so actually, now I'm thinking about it, not really. Um, I thought Mason Thames as Hiccup, he was great. Nico Parker as Astrid, she was phenomenal. I wouldn't say phenomenal, but she was great. Gerard Butler, obviously as good as he was in the animated films, as Stoic, the Vast. And yeah, great cast, all that stuff. Everything was great. The score was like exact same as the original. Obviously, it was incredible. Got chills watching Test Drive on the big screen. Loved that. So yeah, I had a great experience with this film. And they're making a sequel. It's coming out in 2027. And that sequel will not be like a remake of How to Train Your Dragon 2, which I still think is a great movie. A lot of people don't like it. I think it's an underrated film. Anyway, they're not doing a remake of that. The How to Train Your Dragon 2 live action is just going to be its own thing. It's not going to be a remake. It's just going to be its own thing, which I actually like. I think it's a good idea to do that. If it's like a remake of the trilogy, no. They did what they needed. They did what they needed to do. Sorry, I'm speaking so well today. They did what they needed to do with the original, and now like the sequel is going to be something different, which I like. So, just a great experience. Go check this out in theaters. I think you should. In sixth place, The Accountant 2. Now, this and my number 5 could like be switched around. But I'm just gonna go with this just because that's the mood I am. But tomorrow I could wake up and be like, actually no, The Accountant 2 is better than my number 5. Like just same. But anyway, this was a movie that I really didn't know about, the Accountant movies. I didn't know this was coming out until like January of this year. I was looking at like all the upcoming movies. I was making lists, all that stuff. It was dreadful at doing that. But anyway, seemed like a good idea in the moment, but it wasn't. I was like cooped up in my room for like hours just making this list of all the upcoming movies in 2025, which I did not do in 2024, but don't know why I did it, but I did. Anyway, I looked at this and I was like, seems interesting. Watched the trailer for the first one, and yeah, I was looking forward to it, put it on my to-watch list, and I watched it for the first time, getting ready for this. Now, the first one I think is severely overrated. I don't know like why the movie gets the praise that it gets. Second one is so much better. Now, the first one's not a bad movie. It's not okay. It's like a good 6 out of 10 film. But still, I think it's really overrated to the point, like, the praise that it gets. So if I ever do a hot takes video, I think that The Accountant will be on there. But Accountant 2, so much better. The thrilling part of it is actually, there's pretty intense moments in this film. The action, awesome. There's this like 10-minute shootout scene at the end of the film. That was so good. Like that was an awesome scene. And there's also some action sequences here and there as well. And I thought that was just, there was some really awesome action sequences in this movie. Now, there's this brother dynamic that we have to talk about. I talked about it in my review for it. You can go check that out. I have reviews for all these movies. And the brother dynamic is awesome. Like I said in my review, I would have watched, which is true, I would have watched 2 separate movies of this movie where there's one side with brother dynamic and then there's one side with like the thrilling detective action side. The brother dynamic is so enjoyable though with John Bernthal and Ben Affleck. Oh my gosh, as Christian and Braxton. It was just so much fun. Just seeing them going to like bars and stuff and just having a good time. That was awesome. And like kicking butt together. Oh, that was awesome. They greenlit The Accountant 3. Can't wait for that. I really hope that the brother dynamic just extends here. Hopefully Anna Kendrick comes back for the third. Hopefully. We'll keep our fingers crossed. The twist in the film, no, but the twist was better in the first. That's the only thing I can say is better in the first, is that the twist was better, but everything else in the second is just so much better. Them killing off Raymond King, don't know if I don't know why they did that. I'm fine with doing that. I don't really care about the guy, so whatever. And yeah, this film is just so good. It's a great film. And it's actually something like I think it might be out on Blu-ray already. I need to order it because for sure I'm purchasing the second one. Like from this movie and on, I will buy it on Blu-ray for sure. Like yeah, this movie to number one, I will buy it on Blu-ray. Just a great film. In fifth place, Jurassic World Rebirth. Now, I do not understand the hate that this movie is getting. Like, people are putting in, like, their bottom ranking of the Jurassic films. They're putting it below, like, 3, all that stuff. What do you... Like, I don't understand the hate the movie is actually getting. Like, you can calm down here. Jurassic Park 3 is way worse than Rebirth. And, yeah, it's just Jurassic Park 3, really bad film. This movie, great film. And everyone's probably gonna like be really upset. Like, how could you put this in your top 10 favorites of the year so far? I'm sorry, but hey, it's my list, so yeah. For me, if you want to watch that ranking I did of all 7 Jurassic films, it is up and running on my channel right now. And if you want to see where this places, spoiler alert, it's one of my favorites in the ranking. And yeah, just leave it at that. Just a great film. Scarlett Johansson, she is awesome in this film. Jonathan Bailey, he was also great in the movie as his like doctor, and he's like, it's a sin to kill dinosaurs, all that stuff. And he's like that guy who's like, I don't want the money, I just want to spread this to the world. Oh, it's like the DNA that they're getting to like cure whatever disease, cancer, I don't know. Anyway, Mahershala Ali, he kind of pissed me off in some moments, but still I thought he was great. For the moments that he didn't piss me off, he was awesome. The dinosaur attacks, yeah, we get some awesome ones. There's the Mosasaurus attack on the boat. That was awesome. One of the best dinosaur attacks probably in the entire franchise. Also, there's the raft sequence with the T-Rex, which a lot of people are like trashing on that sequence. Yeah, it could have been better, but I still thought it was awesome. There's the pterodactyl sequence, the one that's like the size of an F-16 or whatever. That was awesome. And there's so much more. There's the other sequence, the pterodactyl or whatever, like the big ones that are like at that like supermarket place. That was awesome. And then there's that final battle with I don't even know what it's called. Is it called the D-Rex, I think it's called? I don't know. There's that thing where you just like see the flares and stuff, then you just look over and it just ate the helicopter. That was kind of creepy. And yeah, there's like not much to hate about the film. There's just decisions that I wasn't a fan of, like making Duncan's character kind of annoying and not killing. Like, I wanted a bigger kill count, which is kind of a weird negative, but for me, I wanted a bigger kill count in this movie. But other than that, other than like kind of the human character problems, which it doesn't lack. There's some emotional parts where I almost got emotional with the characters. But there's this conversation between Zora Bennett and Duncan Kincaid or whatever their names are. Yeah, it's their names. And they're just chatting stuff about like life or what happened to them. How Zora, she lost her best friend. Duncan lost his like 2-year-old son. That's why he's so protective of the kids. And that's the part that pissed me off. But anyway, I don't know why it did. It's a weird thing, but it did. But anyway, other than like a little bit of the problems with like I wanted a bigger kill count and all that, the film is awesome. Dinosaur action, out of this world, and yeah, I just had a blast. Please give me a sequel to this movie. Give me a trilogy of just Rebirth. Like, give me a trilogy. Here, we need the new trilogy. This is where to go. Get Gareth Edwards back to direct the sequel, all that stuff, because this movie's awesome. And if you're not seeing it in theaters just because all the reviews, just trust mine and go see it. Not necessarily you're gonna like it, but hey, it's my review. It's my rating, whatever. It is a great film. In fourth place, Thunderbolts or The New Avengers. My favorite MCU film of the year, Captain America: Brave New World. Nah, that film was actually really good. I don't understand the hate that movie gets either. I think it's a very underrated film. It is nowhere near as good as Thunderbolts. I can just say that right now. Thunderbolts is so good. The action was awesome. I was expecting like this to be like a fun Marvel Suicide Squad film, which everyone thought it was going to be. It wasn't just that. It was that, but there was so much more to it. So yeah, the action was awesome. The comedy, I laughed so much. David Harbour as Red Guardian, like out of this world. That guy made me laugh 100 times. And yeah, even some of the comedies that we got this year, actually, I think I laughed more at this film than I did at Mickey 17. This movie was just more funny. Mickey 17 was still really funny, but this movie just got more laughs out of me. And it's just thank you to Red Guardian for making me laugh so much. But it's not just the action and the comedy and stuff. It's how emotional I got at some points, where it focuses on like depression, loneliness, all that stuff. That's how like The Void feels like. That's how everybody feels. The performances from Lewis Pullman and Florence Pugh were out of this world. David Harbour was great and all with the comedy, but the performances from Florence Pugh and Lewis Pullman were just, oh my gosh, they were incredible in this film. And yeah, like, and the chills I got when like Florence is just walking into the shadows, and then David Harbour's just like freaking out, yelling all that stuff. My heart just sank, and like it scared me for a sec. Did Florence just die, or Yelena, whatever? Like, holy. And yeah, man, this movie is just incredible. There was a weird thing that they did though, where they're marketing this movie as where, I always forget her name. Taskmaster. I don't know why I forget her name. They're marketing as Taskmaster as part of the group. All the posters, Taskmaster is on there. The trailers, they're showing Taskmaster, all that stuff. Taskmaster is in this film for like less than 3 minutes. She's killed off by Ghost. Once we meet her, 3 minutes of just action stuff with her in it. Then Ghost kills her. There. That's it. No idea why the film was doing that. We also get Julie, I forget her name. I think it's Julia something Dreyfus. Julia Louis-Dreyfus. Yeah. She was in this film as, obviously, Valentina de Fonte. And she's such an annoying character. She's also Elaine in Seinfeld. They had very, like, Valentina and Elaine had very, like, similar traits and stuff, whatever you want to call it. And, yeah, it's just, Julie Louis-Dreyfus, she, like, plays, like, a very similar characters. But anyway, she was just played a very annoying character. Also, that post-credit scene, great stuff, setting up Fantastic Four, setting up Avengers Doomsday. We're getting ready here, boys and girls. We're getting ready for this awesome MCU phase. Let's just hope that Fantastic Four is great. It's coming out in a couple weeks. Can't wait for that. I do not think it's going to be better than Thunderbolts, but I have kind of low faith. I'm not loving the trailers like everybody else is. But I do have faith in this movie that it will be good. And hopefully this movie really needs to be good, because after this we get Spider-Man Brand New Day, then we get Avengers Doomsday, so on. But anyway, Thunderbolts, fantastic movie. Say that again? Now I'm just playing around, guys, but yeah, this film was just, it was a lot of fun. In third place, Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning. This was my most anticipated film of the year. I absolutely love the Mission Impossible franchise. It is one of, if not my favorite franchise of all time. Like, some of those movies are some of my favorite movies of all time. So, obviously, I was really looking forward to this to be the final Mission Impossible film. I don't know if they're going to do another one, but like Tom Cruise says, it's got final in the name. And there are some decisions in this film, like killing off, spoiler here, Luther. Wasn't a fan of that. The death of Gabriel, the way he died was just so, like, weird. Like, it wasn't weird, but, like, they made it so silly. I wanted him to die, like, in a better way, more emotional way, because he killed He killed Rebecca Ferguson's character, Ilsa Faust, which is my third favorite character in the franchise. If you're curious, 2 is Benji and 1 is Ethan, obviously. They killed off her, and he killed off Luther. 2 of people that he loves. So why would they kill him off for him just smacking his head on the plane part? Why? Other than that, though, and the film is kind of messy with the first half. It's not as bad as people are making it out to be, but with the first half is still a little messy. But once it kicks in, We get the entire submarine sequence, which is so intense, and then after we get the biplane sequence, which the submarine sequence, very intense stuff. I was gripping my seat, I was sweating, my stomach sank, and then once I got after that, I was I can breathe again, because I was holding my breath with Ethan Hunt in the submarine sequence. Then after, we take a little break, and then we get to the biplane sequence. Oh my gosh. Again, I went back to gripping my seat, my stomach sank, I was sweating to death. I was just, I don't even know, man. And once that scene where he's hanging off this bar thing at the end of the plane, honestly, I felt like I was on a roller coaster just shaking, all that stuff. Whew. And I hate roller coasters. I'm just going to say that right now. I hate them. They make me sick. And I felt sick, physically ill in the theater. But yeah, by far, this is maybe Mission Impossible 3 and Dead Reckoning could be up there. 3, Dead Reckoning, Final Reckoning, those are the 3 most intense Mission Impossible films. But this could go down in history as one of the most intense movies ever, with those 2 insane sequences. And I don't know how Tom Cruise can do it, but he still does it with that plane sequence. You thought it was crazy with the building in Ghost Protocol, or the hanging off the edge of that big plane in Rogue Nation, or falling off a helicopter in Fallout, or the bike sequence in Dead Reckoning. You gotta watch Final Reckoning with the submarine sequence and the biplane, because that is just out of this world intense. The ending, I don't like how they're just nodding heads, at the end of Ghost Protocol or whatever. They're just nodding heads and then just ends. I want to see a more satisfying conclusion there. We also get that sequence in the caves where he crashes the Jeep and stuff. That was awesome. There's so many sequences in this film that are just awesome. The action, yeah, it lacks a little bit. Nowhere near as good as Fallout or Dead Reckoning. Though that's top-notch action. Same with Ghost Protocol and Rogue Nation. It ended there with Dead Reckoning. Final Reckoning, action, lame, but the stunts are out of this world. And yeah. Now, I was a little disappointed. I wanted this film to be a 10 out of 10. I wanted this film with so high expectations, so I was a little bit disappointed. But still, this was an easy 8.5 out of 10. It is a awesome film. My runner-up, F1 the movie. Now, this my number 1 could be switched or whatever. They're both 9 out of 10s, amazing films. So yeah, we've left the 8.5 out of 10s. We've gone to the 9 out of 10 stages. The Amazing Movies, which is my number 2, my number 1. And yeah, F1, I went to this film with super, not that high expectations, because, I was really looking forward to this film. I was afraid I was going to be bored, but I was not. Once I just saw that opening sequence with that race, it wasn't even Formula 1, I just saw it, I knew I was in for something special. The score is out of this world, probably my favorite score of the year. The scores in this film, out of this world, amazing. Hans Zimmer did it, so obviously it's going to be incredible. He did Dune, he did Pirates of the Caribbean, all that stuff. That guy is probably the best person to do scores, whatever you want to call it, composer, I don't know. John Williams, he's up there too, but this guy, Hans Zimmer, takes it to the next level, and the scores for F1 is out of this world. The soundtrack is an absolute banger, maybe my favorite soundtrack of the year. Brad Pitt's acting, unbelievable. The guy is just so cool. Anything he does, he is so cool. He was in Bullet Train, very underrated movie, because a lot of people don't like it, I don't know why. But Bullet Train, great film. I actually own it on Blu-ray. And the guy is just so cool in that. And again, in this, he's just so cool driving the car and stuff. There were some very intense sequences, like my heart sank and I was gripping the seat, just like in Mission Impossible, with that final race where he's like, where there's one guy behind him, he's just like he almost makes it and stuff. And once he does, I just wanted to scream in the air. I didn't because I'm in a theater, but I just wanted to. There was one other person who's like clapping stuff. Yeah, I was clapping and I was screaming in my head, cheering on, doing it in my head. I wanted to do it out loud, but again, it's a theater, so I didn't. There's a couple ones where Joshua appears, where he has a huge crash, almost dies, and then where Sonny Hayes, he has another big crash, and then they find out like he has a spine disease, or I mean not a spine disease, but like he has a spine problem when he did race Formula One last, and he had a huge crash. All that stuff. The film was just awesome. It's an amazing film. It is an amazing movie and one of my favorite movies of the decade. That's how much I loved this film. And yeah, so this is definitely the ultimate summer movie of the year. But in first place for the best movie I've seen in 2025 thus far, Sinners. You guys knew this movie was coming. I absolutely love Sinners. And like I said before, this and F1 like could have swapped places. It's like the same thing with the account 2 in Jurassic World Rebirth. Like depends on my mood. They could switch anytime. Like I could wake up tomorrow, F1 is better than Sinners. But they're both tied. They're both 9 out of 10 amazing films. I love them both. Both of them are I'm gonna do a list where my 20 favorite movies of the decade. These two are going to be in that list. Yeah, for sure. I absolutely love these films. But Sinners, I'm just gonna give the edge to it because yeah, it's been my favorite movie of the year since I saw it in April in theaters. And I don't even know if it's gonna change, guys. Like, be prepared for Sinners to be my favorite movie of the year or F1. Just one of these two are gonna make it to my favorite movie of the year. I doubt any of the movies coming out for the rest of the year are gonna top it. But Sinners is such a special movie, where F1 is probably more intense, more action, all that stuff. But Sinners is such a special movie where it like focuses on like the heart of music and all that. Like Ryan Coogler is the man at directing. He might be one of my favorite directors of all time after seeing Sinners, after Wakanda Forever, all that stuff. The guy knows what he's doing. Michael B. Jordan as twins, that was great. We have this like one serious twin, and then we got like the more like jokester one. I like those different moods, just like in Mickey 17, different moods. And yeah, we do get some awesome action. There's no action like, I mean there's action throughout, but that ending action sequence where him with Smoke with the Tommy gun and he's just wiping all those guys out because he found out that like they had something to do with like the vampires and all that stuff, just shooting them all. That was an awesome action sequence. Like, holy crap, that was insane. And the vampires, like the guy who played the main vampire, he should win an Oscar. Just give him an Oscar because he wins. Like, he's my favorite villain performance of the year for sure. Maybe my favorite performance of the year. The guy was incredible. Haley Steinfeld, she was great in this film as well. There's a great romance in here, great comedy. I laughed so many times in the theater. And yeah, the film is actually pretty intense. Like that opening sequence of just him, the cousin walking up into the church and just seeing flashbacks of like the vampires and stuff. You knew that you were in for something intense. Cause yeah, it is intense. The soundtrack of the cousin, I honestly forget his name, but the songs that he sings, that man, it's his first movie ever actually in this film. He should be in 1,000 more movies. Like, just pal this guy up with movies. He needs to act a lot because this guy is incredible. Not just acting, singing, he is great. Like, phenomenal at singing. Like, his songs in this film, incredible. The vampire songs, Rocky Road to Dublin, I downloaded that on my playlist. I am listening to it all the time. Like, the score in this film, unbelievable. F1 has a better score, but still, Sinner's score is out of this world. The soundtrack, a banger, and the look of the film is super rich. Like, pretty sure this film was filmed with IMAX cameras. very noisy, big, but still, they managed it. All that stuff. Vampires, very creepy. This movie is just out of this world. Amazing. So there you guys. Sorry, I cannot speak today. Sorry. So there you guys have it. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe. Make sure to comment down below your ranking. How would you rank your 10 favorite films of the year this far? And yeah, I have a lot of videos to do because I did a survey if you guys want to vote on that. Yeah. And I will see you guys back for my worst films 2025. I have to do that. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe like I just said before. And I will see you guys in the next one.